A new and ominous health threat looms on the horizon as global experts warn of Disease X, a theoretical but entirely plausible pathogen with the potential to cause devastation far exceeding COVID-19. First coined by the World Health Organization in 2018, Disease X represents an unknown future pandemic, serving as both a wake-up call and a challenge to global preparedness. Scientists predict it could emerge as a highly contagious respiratory virus, possibly originating from animals, with the catastrophic potential to claim up to 50 million lives, 20 times more than the toll of COVID-19. Without decisive action and international cooperation, experts warn the impact could rival or surpass the Spanish flu of 1918, which remains one of the deadliest pandemics in history. As nations work to strengthen disease surveillance, accelerate vaccine technology, and share critical data, the urgency to prepare for this hypothetical yet terrifying scenario has never been greater. This video delves into the alarming warnings surrounding Disease X and the pressing need to confront a crisis that could redefine the future of global health, a looming global threat. Disease X, though not yet a tangible disease, represents one of the most significant challenges facing global health today. Coined by the World Health Organization in 2018, the term serves as a dire warning. An unpredictable and potentially catastrophic pathogen could emerge at any time. Unlike the gradual onset of COVID-19, Disease X is feared to spread with explosive speed and an unparalleled death toll, overwhelming health systems and leaving little time for coordinated responses. Experts believe this hypothetical pathogen will most likely be a respiratory virus, sharing similarities with deadly diseases like SARS and influenza. Such a virus could spread through air or contact, making it exceptionally contagious and difficult to contain. Its potential to cause up to 50 million deaths, on par with the Spanish flu of 1918, underlines the magnitude of the threat. Despite lessons learned from COVID-19, the world remains largely unprepared for a pandemic of this scale. Healthcare systems, global infrastructure, and economic systems would be tested to their limits, making investment in research, surveillance, and international cooperation an urgent priority. Disease X is not just a concept. It's a call to action for humanity to strengthen its defenses against an unknown but inevitable threat. The eye in the sky. The rapid global spread of COVID-19 revealed critical gaps in the world's surveillance systems, gaps that Disease X could exploit with devastating efficiency. Enhanced surveillance is the cornerstone of any effective pandemic defense, allowing health officials to detect outbreaks before they spiral out of control. The WHO has spearheaded initiatives to improve global health monitoring, emphasizing real-time data sharing and cooperation between nations. Advances in artificial intelligence and big data analytics have enabled faster detection of unusual patterns, such as clusters of unexplained illnesses, which could signal an emerging threat. Yet, these tools are only as effective as the systems supporting them. Political and economic barriers often hinder the free flow of information. For example, nations with strained relationships may hesitate to share critical data, fearing economic repercussions or political instability. Low-income countries face additional challenges, such as inadequate healthcare infrastructure and limited access to diagnostic tools. The spread of misinformation adds another layer of complexity. As seen during the COVID-19 pandemic, conspiracy theories and distrust in institutions can undermine containment efforts. Effective public education campaigns and transparent communication are essential to counteract these narratives, fostering trust and compliance with public health measures. Strengthening surveillance also requires bolstering laboratory capabilities worldwide. Rapid diagnostic testing, genomic sequencing, and pathogen identification must become standard practices, enabling swift responses to emerging threats. Although these measures demand substantial investment, they are essential to safeguarding global health against the next pandemic. Vaccines in a race against time. Vaccines have been humanity's most potent weapon against pandemics, but Disease X presents a unique challenge. Its exact nature remains unknown. This uncertainty necessitates a shift in vaccine development strategies focusing on flexibility and speed. The success of mRNA vaccines during the COVID-19 pandemic demonstrated the potential of new technologies to deliver effective solutions quickly. However, experts argue that even faster responses will be needed for disease X. Kate Bingham, former chair of the UK's Vaccine Task Force, emphasizes the importance of global investments in scalable vaccine manufacturing and distribution systems. These networks must be capable of producing billions of doses in record time to prevent widespread loss of life. Equitable vaccine distribution is another pressing concern. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed deep inequalities, with low-income countries often receiving vaccines far later than wealthier nations. Ensuring that vaccines are accessible to all, regardless of geography or economic status, is critical for a coordinated global response. Addressing vaccine hesitancy will also play a crucial role, requiring transparent communication, education, and community engagement to build trust and encourage widespread participation. Scientists are also exploring the development of universal vaccines targeting entire virus families. These groundbreaking innovations could provide broad protection against multiple pathogens, including those yet to emerge. While still in their infancy, such technologies represent a promising frontier in the fight against future pandemics. From wildlife to outbreaks, the zoonotic risk, the origins of disease. X likely lie in zoonotic transmission, where pathogens jump from animals to humans. This process has been responsible for some of history's most devastating pandemics, including HIV, Ebola, and COVID-19. Human activities like deforestation, urbanization, and wildlife exploitation are accelerating this risk, bringing people into closer contact with animals and their diseases. Wet markets, where live animals are sold in crowded conditions, are particularly high-risk environments. Strengthening regulations around wildlife trade and improving sanitation in these markets are crucial steps in reducing zoonotic spillovers. Public health experts also stress the importance of monitoring wildlife and livestock populations for potential threats, using advanced technologies like genetic sequencing to identify high-risk pathogens. Climate change adds another dimension to the problem. Rising temperatures and shifting ecosystems are driving animals into new areas, increasing the likelihood of human-animal interactions. For example, the expansion of mosquito habitats has already facilitated the spread of diseases like dengue and Zika. Addressing climate change is therefore integral to reducing the risk of future pandemics. Public health campaigns can play a vital role in educating communities about these risks. Simple measures like improving hygiene, avoiding contact with wild animals, and reporting unusual illnesses can help prevent outbreaks. By combining these efforts with advancements in science and policy, humanity can reduce the likelihood of another pandemic originating from the natural world. The ripple effects of disease X. The impact of disease X would extend far beyond public health, reshaping economies, societies, and daily life on a global scale. The COVID-19 pandemic provided a glimpse of these challenges, but disease X could magnify them exponentially. Industries like travel, hospitality, and manufacturing would face significant disruptions, with widespread closures and restrictions causing economic ripple effects. Governments would need to allocate massive resources to healthcare systems, potentially at the expense of other critical sectors. Supply chain disruptions could lead to shortages of essential goods, creating additional social and economic pressures. The psychological toll of a disease X pandemic could also be immense. Prolonged periods of isolation, fear, and uncertainty are likely to exacerbate mental health issues, including anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress. Communities may face strained relationships as individuals grapple with grief, frustration, and mistrust. Policymakers must prioritize mental health services and social support systems to mitigate these effects. Investing in resilient infrastructure is essential for minimizing the broader impacts of a pandemic. This includes strengthening healthcare systems, securing supply chains, and fostering community resilience through education and empowerment. By adopting a holistic approach, societies can better prepare for the challenges posed by disease X. Predictions from the psychic world. Adding an unconventional perspective, psychic predictions have also surfaced about a pandemic potentially worse than COVID-19. Psychic World's year-end forecast for 2025 included warnings of a devastating new pandemic. One psychic, remaining anonymous, cited tarot spreads and cosmic alignments as indicators of an impending health crisis, aligning eerily with scientific warnings about disease X. Astrologers have pointed to transformative planetary movements, such as Pluto's transition into Aquarius, as signaling significant societal shifts and challenges. While these predictions lack scientific validation, they resonate with the anxiety and uncertainty surrounding global health. They also highlight the human tendency to seek meaning and foresight in times of crisis. Interestingly, these predictions often mirror real-world concerns. For instance, the psychic's emphasis on societal transformation aligns with the calls for collective action and international cooperation. While the predictive accuracy of these forecasts remains debatable, they serve as a reminder of the diverse ways people process and interpret global threats. Regardless of their validity, the attention these predictions attract underscores the universal need for preparedness and resilience in the face of an uncertain future. Throughout this video, we explored the harrowing warnings surrounding disease X, a hypothetical yet plausible threat that could cause devastation on a scale far greater than COVID-19. We examined how this potential pandemic could emerge, likely as a zoonotic respiratory virus, and the staggering implications it could have for public health, economies, and societies worldwide. From the critical role of vaccine innovation to the necessity of global surveillance and cooperation, we've seen how interconnected our world truly is and how vital it is to work together to mitigate such threats. We also discussed the challenges of misinformation, vaccine hesitancy, and unequal access to healthcare resources, which could significantly hinder containment efforts. The video highlighted the importance of preparing not just our healthcare systems, but also our mental health services and societal infrastructures to withstand a crisis of this magnitude. Additionally, we considered the role of human activities like deforestation, climate change, and urbanization in increasing the risk of zoonotic diseases. Even unconventional perspectives, such as psychic predictions, emphasize the pervasive anxiety and curiosity about our ability to face an unknown future. Now it's time to hear from you. What do you think are the most critical steps nations should take to prepare for a pandemic like disease X? Share your thoughts in the comments below.